Alright, let's talk about blues tone for a second, or a minute, or 10 minutes, according to YouTube. How do you get that amazing blues SRV kind of tone? There's a couple different ways you can do it. You can buy a Strat. You always got to have some kind of a single coil Strat kind of guitar. I got a couple of different ones, that one and one in the corner. We're going to use this one though. You got to have a really nice tube amp. Preferably, I think, I don't know exactly what SRV used. I could probably look it up. But I think some of the Fender stuff, like the deluxe reverb, some of those kind of amps are going to probably get you closer to his tone. I'm going to use this Fender Blues Deluxe. I think it's pretty close. And then if you buy like an old school Ibanez or Maxon TS808 or the Maxon OD808, you could probably get it pretty close. But it's all about how you set it up, because Stevie Ray Vaughan wasn't known for his really hot overdrive. But I have a way of doing it that's a little more budget friendly than going out and buying a $500 pedal and a $1,200 to $1,300 amp and then another $1,300 to $1,400 guitar. Here's how I do it. I use a couple different ones. I got a buddy who's got a reissue TS808 and I can use that. But I think this Boss Super Overdrive can do the trick. The trick is this, okay? It's pulling your overdrive not up but back and throwing your level hot, like really hot. Because it's more about overdriving the tubes on the amp than it is about using the clippings in the overdrive pedal. Because the more drive you put on it, the more fake it's going to sound. The less drive, the more it's more like a transparent, clean boost kind of a deal. The more it's going to drive the tubes on the amp, which is what this pedal is really supposed to do anyway. And I leave my tone up pretty hot. That's trick number one. Trick number two is you got to have some kind of a boost over here. Boost pedal. I have the LPB1, and I have it not up so really hot. But hot enough. And what that is going to do is that is actually going to boost the signal of my guitar up through the overdrive, which is not really driven very hard, but it's going to push this level even hotter to output into the amp even hotter. So now you've got a ton of signal going to the amp, breaking up those tubes even faster. Then in front of the boost, I put a compressor. And I compress and squash my signal pretty hard, and then I put the output up a little bit hotter like that, probably straight up on the sensitivity on this MXR Dynacomp. But what that's going to do is that's going to like kind of mush all the strings, the levels together, and what it'll do is it'll push a straight signal out. And then what happens is you squash your signal, and then you boost it. So you boost the squash signal, which gives you that really punchy tone, and then you're overdriving the tubes with the squash boosted signal, which is going to give you really that tone. And then I have up here, I have running this Holy Grail reverb, which is on spring, which gives you that kind of that springy reverb kind of sound that you get from a deluxe reverb. And I have it run kind of like that. And then I run the neck pickup on the Strat, and that's basically how I get it. Now, one of the other ways to do it that'll give you that tone is you got to hit your strings really hard. You can't like kind of be a girl about it. Sorry, any girls, but you got to really like hit your strings hard, because that's the harder you hit your strings, the more aggressive the signal is going to be, the better the tone. That's really how Stevie Ray Vaughan did it. He didn't really use a ton of drive gain. He used a lot more of level, the output of his 808, and he just beat the junk out of his strings. and that really drove the amp really hard, which gave him that really great tone. So let's see if we can use this and this and this and this and this and this to get that Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of tone. Alrighty, got neck pickup. Here is the sound I'm getting right here. I have the amp really low because I'm right next to the camera with it. First thing, let's put on the compressor. Snap squash my signal. Alright, now let's do, let's boost the squash signal. Alright, so now we have a boosted squash signal. Let's throw in, we already have the reverb on. Alright, let's throw in the overdrive now. Let's see what we can do that, right? Alright, so pull back the drive a little bit. Alright, let's see if we can get that Stevie Ray Vaughan pop. I think so.